Cold start. Well guys, it's happened. If you look carefully down in the bottom of that engine bay, you'll see an FT86 Speedfactory catted header. It's about time that I did this, and it's been well worth it. The BRZ finally has some power. This honestly should have been the first mod that I did. It drives so well, it's so good. Let me show you guys. A little bit louder, a little bit more of a burble there. Oh yeah. I just got the OpenFlash tablet FT86 Speedfactory header tune on yesterday. Shiv makes a specific tune for this header and it drives really well. It's so much more refined than stock, which is just, it's smoother, it's cool, it feels great. I will say though, when I first got this header on, the car just felt quicker right off the bat, even just on the stock tune without doing anything. There was a lot more torque, a lot more power in the high range. The power band now is just, it's meaty. It pulls everywhere. I don't even feel a torque dip anymore. It's linear. It really pulls in the high revs. I don't feel like I need to rev the nuts off of it to get power out of the car. On the highway, I can actually pass people in 6th gear. It's really, really good, and I think it sounds fantastic. So I have the Corsa exhaust on here. For me, this is kind of my perfect pairing. I was worried that it might be a little bit too loud, but it's great. It's absolutely right on the money. It's exactly what I was looking for. Right now the back seats are up, but when you bring them down, you get even more noise. So if you want to go even louder, you can do it. But there's no drone on the highway. There's actually maybe a little bit less drone than there was before, just because of the different sound characteristics that this header introduces. If you're not into it, it's just there. It's just throaty. Now, the more you push your foot down, the more the car accelerates. And it's right where you want it, between 3,000 and 4,000 RPM. Pretty fantastic. Let's take it on this entrance ramp here. So I notice more power literally everywhere. This car actually pulls hard now. Where I notice it the most is between 6 and 7,300 RPM. It really, really comes alive in that range, and it just has torque all below that. It's just so nice. This is 6th gear. Now, if you really need to pass someone, you can just downshift into 5th and you're good to go. But 6th gear finally has the torque that I needed to just drive through traffic, pass someone who's going slow in the left lane. I don't have to worry about shifting around at all. I should have done this long time ago. Right now I have 50,000 miles on the BRZ, 49,681. Kind of wish I did it before. But it's a good 50,000 mile birthday present for the car, and a good thing to do to start the spring with. Honestly, this was the last mod that I really wanted to do to the car. This is it. I'm done. The BRZ is finished. I want to do... The car probably needs new rotors, just because 50,000 miles on them, quite a few track days. It's time. You notice that when we're outside the car, I've got the BBS 16-inch wheels on this car. This is the lightest wheel and tire setup that I could imagine for a BRZ. The tires weigh 19 pounds, the wheels weigh like 12 pounds. It's ridiculous how lightweight they are. They're forged BBS. I think they're RG362s, something like that. Really, really lightweight setup, and that in itself makes the car feel faster. Just to give you guys an idea here of some 6th gear passing power. Alright, so we'll get even with this Durango here. And if I dip into the throttle now, it'll actually pass the car. So when you're just cruising on the highway, this is 75 miles an hour. I mostly hear wind and tire noise. I can hear just a little bit of engine in the back from the exhaust. But there's no drone tones. It's just a little bit of a subtle hint that there's something back there. This car sounds so good now. I'm a little bit embarrassed to admit this, but two things that I'm embarrassed to admit. One is the other night this car pulled on the 850R. So it was actually faster than the 850R, which is a little bit embarrassing for the 850R, but good for the BRZ. And that means the 850R needs to be faster now, which is probably the next goal. And then I was driving a car driver the other morning, and one of the guys at the office was in a new Jeep JL Wrangler. It's a 2-door manual with a new Pentastar V6 in there, and off the line he was quicker. He was just faster than the BRZ. From 0 to 45 he had me. Above that, aerodynamics kick in. I can rev the car out, but it was a humbling experience, I'll say that for sure. You know, and it was just after I got the tune on the car too. It was all baby fresh, and definitely set things right. Yeah, guys, this thing rips now. I'm very happy, very, very happy. The BRZ is so much more balanced with its power and grip capabilities. I think I'm done. Really, I mean, maybe I'll swap on FT86 or Toyota 86 2017 suspension. I've got some shocks and springs that I bought from a guy for $300 on Craigslist, and might swap those in sometime soon. Or actually, you know what? Let's stay this way. And and maybe do sway bars, because the new Toyota 86 just handles it handles like a dream. This gets there but only about 90% there. That extra 10% on the limit is just, it's phenomenal. The new car is so good. Let's talk a little bit about this tune from OpenFlash Performance. Shiv, I think, is just super busy these days. He's really trying to play catch up with all the business that he's been getting the last few years, and it took him a few days to reply to me, but he eventually got back to me with a tune. You have to email him for this specific tune, and it was worth the wait. It's a really refined and just high quality tune for this car. The biggest thing I noticed is just how smooth everything is. There's definitely a lot more power than there was with stock. However, I would say that the header is worth it on its own, even just on a stock tune. It really does give you more power, and it's noticeable, and it just makes the car feel more natural. It's more linear. Everyday driver guys were saying, this is how the car should have been from the factory, and they're absolutely right. But this is even better, just because really you're into this. $1,000 for the header, $500 for a tune, $1,500. You can make your BRZ feel like it always really should have been, and it's such a worthy upgrade. For me, it's cheap performance, and for me, this is as fun to drive as a supercharged car. Definitely doesn't have the power, but it also doesn't have the headache and the cost. It's literally, a quarter of the expense of a supercharger or a turbo kit, and still gives you that linear power band. And really, that's what this car was begging for all along. When you get into a Miata, pretty similar power to weight ratio, but the thing about the Miata is that it has a linear power band, and it is responsive, and when you put your foot down, it goes pretty much at any RPM. And now that's what the BRZ does, and it's what it desperately needed this whole time. Anyway, guys, that's it for this first video on this. I'm going to be going out to Hawking Hills this weekend and filming some back road driving, and I imagine this car will finally be pretty fun to hustle around the back road. In the past, it wasn't quite as engaging or as exciting as my GTI used to be, just because it didn't have any power to pull itself out of the corners, and now that's definitely not the case anymore. So we'll update you with that when I get that up on the internet, and until then, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.